I love the story. And look, here's the other thing too. And thank you first off for the commentary around Salesman on Fire. I think one thing that I want to point out about Vincent is that he goes through quite a transformation. He started out, he was a young whippersnapper. He was very selfish and singularly focused. And, he spent a lot of time focused on building his own craft. But the one thing that I would recommend to anybody out there is anybody that you see out there that's a competitor, or even if they're an internal competitor, let's say you're a seller and you're up against somebody who's better than you, quote unquote, at a certain metric, there's something you can learn from everyone. I would always go out and try to find, if somebody was better than me at something, I always went out and found them. How are you doing this? What are you doing that helps you deliver in this metric? Because very rarely is somebody else doing something or you're doing something that's going to take food off the other person's table. So why not go out there and figure out how you can help each other or add value for each other? Same thing with competitors. When I was in the retail space years ago, one of the key elements that I would always focus on is, just like you said, having friends at some of these other locations. Because here's why. Let's say something comes into my shop that I can't necessarily handle, or it's not the right fit for me. So let me go out and find somebody proactively that I can send those types of leads to and those relationships. And then vice versa, it's a symbiotic relationship. When they have something similar situation that maybe it's not their bread and butter customer, but they can or want to send them your way, they'll reciprocate. But it's an investment that you're making. Is it going to work every time? No. Sometimes it's a leap of faith, but it's an investment that you're making in that relationship. I had all the time, I would send customers that I had or that came to me to my competitor because it was the right mix. It was the right thing to do. I spent some time with them and I was able to very quickly figure out, hey, this is something that my competitor will be better at. I'll send you directly to the person. And guess what? That did multiple things. First off, with the customer, it made me a trusted resource. It made me a trusted advisor because I wasn't just trying to sell them something. The other thing that it did is it invested in that relationship with the competitor so that we had that symbiotic relationship of sharing customers and figuring out, when something fit better for that person, it went that route. Now, eventually, similarly, this person offered me a job at one point too. So it also has broader ramifications on career. You never know where people are going to go. And I think that's the key, is why we've got to scale it back sometimes. Take a step back and realize that everyone's a person. How can I invest in this relationship with you as a human being? How can I add value for you? And even if I can't today, we may not figure out all the ways that we can solve the problems of the world today, but now we're connected, and maybe down the road we'll be able to do that. So I think that's the mentality and the mindset we have to take to every relationship, every interaction.